We're looking at the aquaponics grow bed here, and this is a case of when success becomes your greatest failure. So I'll explain that and let's get on with it. G'day folks, Andy here from McDowell Manor. You can see the grow bed is not draining. You can probably hear the water running, so it is running, it's just resorted back to a constant flow. And I'm pretty confident the reason for that is this kangkong has done so damn well that its root mass will have blocked up all the top end, and in fact the standpipe that lets the water out is over there in the corner, so I suspect the water just can't get there fast enough. So what I'm going to do is pull all this out and clean out the root mass that's in the clay balls. Well, that'll be a bit of a task, won't it? Yeah, so a couple of months ago, you might recall, I took a lot of this out then. I didn't bother with the root mass because I was worried about whether the plant would survive. To get rid of ants and aphids. There's not a lot come back, but there are some bits where you can see it's killed that entire branch off. It was really quite a significant infection, so that's a lot of that stuff's just going into the compost. There's an interesting find in the lying in the bed. I've obviously been undoing a screw or something on a pump and left one of the good kitchen bread and butter knives out here. I have to sneak that in, Rosie will bloody kill me. Well, even the initial cutbacks made a significant difference. Everybody's benefiting. The chookies have got some. Both of the compost bins have got some. Still got quite a bit to go. What I think I'll do, in fact, is I'll harvest all the shallots down this end, and eventually I'll move them up that end because they don't have a big root mass. And I'll put the kangkong down this end. That way, even when the root mass develops, it's only where the water comes in and not where it's trying to go out. Not sure how well you can see it, but certainly ended up with a bloody good harvest of shallots out of it. Holy guacamole. I'll cut the tops off them and we'll eat them, and we'll replant the bases down the other end. Found a root clump of chives, I'll keep that. A couple of little tomato seedlings, I'll keep them. See, albeit dirty, the water's actually quite happy to move around. But there's the nub of the root problem. I mean, there's, some's getting through, but not very much. There's no way. I can't even put my hands in that and dig it. So it's going to be an interesting, I guess I'll just work away at it. What I'm trying to dig out. Most of that's under there. But you can see it's just an incredibly fibrous mass. So that's the first plant that I've actually managed to get the whole root ball out. What do we got? It's pretty tough going, I gotta say. But you can really see, can't you, how that water just cannot flow. Look at that sucker, will you? The hard part is I don't want to throw the balls out because they're quite expensive. So it takes me 15-20 minutes to get the balls out of there. A bit from that side. You got to admit, that's pretty impressive. You can see why there's no water flowing, can't you? That's the problem. Now the water in the grow bed is still pretty dirty. It hasn't flooded and drained properly, so it's had a build up of solids. What I'm doing is I'm using that out pipe and just putting it into 20-litre buckets and using it on the garden beds because it's really bloody good for the plants. Handy fashion. This has started as one job, but it's ended up another. We don't use much of this mint. I've got mint elsewhere. That's a spinach equivalent. We don't use much of that. I don't use much of the watercress. So I'm actually thinking I'm going to strip most of that out. I'll keep some. And I'll put the kangkong in these little low beds. I didn't have an issue previously when I had it growing in there. And that'll stop me having this debacle with this bloody big bed. So yeah, that's going to be the overall plan now. Started to fix a flood and drain problem, and we've ended up doing a whole aquaponics remodel. I've gone the advanced plan where I've run the pipe, joined a couple of pipes together with tape. That saves me carrying the buckets. I'm hoping this works. I'm using town water now rather than use my good rainwater that I need for the fish. This chlorinated water is not going anywhere near them at the moment anyway, so that should be okay. See, I've cleared out that front bed completely. The back two beds I'm actually leaving at the moment for two reasons. One, they've got valuable plants. Not that I use them much, but it's got mint and it's got lemon, watercress and that spinachy thing. So that probably would have saved them. But the other reason, they're the same as the previous big bed. You can see what a bloody mess it was in there. So I was pulling out root mass, that's it over there, from all through here. It's as dirty as it'll get out. So I actually don't want to create any more dirt and stuff that's going in the fish tank. So I'll probably leave it, I reckon, I'll leave it a week or two and decide whether I want to be bothered. So that's pretty much it for the aquaponics remodel. I haven't, oh, you can hear that. That's that flood and drain system cutting in and out. I've just put back a few basic things, a couple of tomatoes and a few of the small shallots. I'm going to take my time and plant out, they're not planted, and plant out some brassicas and do a winter bed. We're coming into winter. That little bit of kangkong there, I just shoved it in to keep it alive. I'm going to put it in the front bed. That'll give me a ready supply of spinach. And it doesn't matter so much if the root mass becomes a problem. Alright folks, well hopefully you enjoyed. Next time you see this it'll be all planted out and should be looking drop dead gorgeous. But that's how things rolled. So hopefully you enjoyed watching that. If you like this kind of self-sufficient living in the city, feel free to subscribe and tap the little bell icon so you find out when I do a video. Now what I always do, and I promise this right from the start, is I show you my muck-ups, like these beds that stop flowing and stuff, as well as stuff that goes really well. The reason I do that is because, let's be honest, everything you do is not going to work 1,000,000%, and so I like you to see that and you can avoid the same mistakes I made. Alright folks, have a good one, eh? See ya!